Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastachadesha Tarine. Vanchakopa Trupyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, Hare Krishna. So I know there's not very many people here right now, but I humbly request that parents of young children, if they become fussy, to please take them out of the temple room so that we can all focus a little better on the class, okay? So this class is going to be fairly interactive. I have questions that are going to be on the slide, and I would love for all of you to try to answer the question. Even if you get it wrong, that's okay, because this is like a learning process for all of us. So, who's here for the very first time? No one? Okay. I may ask that question again as people come in. Okay, welcome to the Sunday Love Feast class. That's what we used to always call it in the early days. This class is and should always be understandable for our new guests. And it was set up by Srila Prabhupada that way. So as his disciple, I hope to make this class easy to understand. And for those of us who already know the philosophy, it's like a refresher. As a follower of the Arsha Prayog principle, keeping parampara intact, this class is based on the original words of my spiritual master, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. My research for this class is from the second and third cantos of the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita as it is, which has been translated and purported perfectly. As well as from Uncommon Dialogues, which is a compilation of lectures and conversations from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So some of this gets a little technical, a little tricky, so I'll try to make it understandable. And I might put in some of my own personal realizations here and there. I'm going to be using the terms spirit soul, living entity, and jiva interchangeably. Hare Krishna, Krishna Bhavani. Okay. So this bhakti, or Krishna consciousness, it's a spiritual science of God realization. It's not really easily understood by the masses. So first of all, what is bhakti? Bhakti is our natural propensity for loving devotion to God or Krishna. It is the living entity's actual constitutional position to serve and love God. It's called Sanatana Dharma. As devotees of Krishna, we try to help the conditioned souls by helping them start their path of a spiritual awakening. We do this in the early days. We used to go out on Sankirtan, and we would, if they didn't take a book, if somebody didn't want to take a book, we'd say, oh, that's okay, can you say Hare Krishna? And they'd say Hare Krishna. That was the beginning of their spiritual life. So that made us so happy when we'd hear that. So there was a time, and an example of this was when I have a friend, and of course Krishna Bhavani knows who this friend is, Gunamayi Devi Dasi. She and I were in Ventura and County. We were in Trader Joe's, and when we came out, there was this young man. He was playing his guitar. He had his guitar case open, and people were tossing in coins because he was singing. And we tossed in some coins, and then we tossed in a perfection of yoga. And he stopped singing. He looked up, and he said, thank you. And we said, can you say Hare Krishna? And he said Hare Krishna. So that made our day. So it's not very difficult to actually do a little bit of preaching work and start conditioned souls awakening of spiritual life. And then there are those souls who are on the verge of waking up. It could be that one person in a crowd of 3,000 that all they have to do is hear the holy name, hear philosophy, and they're ready to take up bhakti. Padam padam yadvid padam. So there's so many dangers in this material world. And sometimes we hear people say, how could God do this to us? Or they just deny the existence of God altogether because they can't imagine how God could put us in such distress. So, did God really put us in danger? Or is he punishing us? Or did we do this to ourselves? At present, we, the living beings, have fallen from our true spiritual position. But in the truest sense, we haven't really fallen. And that I'll explain a little bit later through the class. So, on a personal note, when I was ages from 5 to 8, I was raised in Catholicism, and in our catechism class, they would always, they'd talk about the original sin, but they wouldn't tell us what it was. So it was only through the Vedic literatures many years later that Srila Prabhupada has given us that I understood what the original sin was. So this is the first question on the slide. Can anyone share with us what that original sin is? Yes, Raji.
Adam and Eve, they ate the forbidden fruit.
Okay, that's the Christian version. Yeah. She said Adam and Eve, they ate the forbidden fruit. So Christians kind of know that's the original sin. But in Catholicism, they really didn't. I mean, how is eating a piece of fruit original sin? So, oh, yes, Jeff. Yes, absolutely. Don't be shy. If you get it wrong, that's okay.
Being shown the divine, shown God, and then denying it.
I'm sorry, say it again?
Being taught about God, shown the divine, and then denying it.
Well, yes.
I'm guessing.
That's part of it, yes. So, anyone else want to take a stab at that?
No, forgetting our connection with the God after being born here.
I'm sorry?
The souls, forgetting about the super soul or Bhagavan, forgetting about him and engaged in these material activities.
That's part of it, yes. And we actually touch upon that later on in the class.
Yes.
So I'll help you give an answer. Does anybody want else try? Okay, Madhavahari.
So the soul developed a desire to enjoy separately from Krishna.
Absolutely, that's the answer. So we wanted to enjoy independently of Krishna. We actually dared to think we could be Krishna. We could be in the center. We're so much like him, right? Why can't I be in the center? Okay, so we came here of our own volition. So we did this to ourselves. And we desired to be mini Krishnas. We living entities are qualitatively the same as God, as Krishna, but not quantitatively. We're tiny, very tiny fragmental parts of the Lord. He has full independence. We have just a little bit of independence. And it's our misuse of that independence that brings us here into this cosmic manifestation. Okay. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati explains that the misuse of that minute amount of independence that we have occurs when the living entity becomes indifferent to serving God with love. So, Jiva has free will, always has free will. Otherwise, there's no meaning to love. You can't force someone to love you. Okay, so next. Thank you, Harsharani. In our understanding of what is happening to the living entity, what is another word or synonym for indifference in the spiritual context? Anyone want to try? You can blurt it out.
Tamas.
Sorry?
Tamas.
Thomas?
The guna, tamas. Like
Oh.
it's not caring.
That's the mode of ignorance. It's actually envy. So in the spiritual context, indifference is the same as envy. That's where it all starts, as we become indifferent to the service of the Lord. As soon as the jiva becomes envious, this time for Maya's covering and throwing energies begins. So what is Maya? Next. Who is Maya? Anyone want to say? Illusion, yes, illusion. So Maya is a servant of Krishna who has the thankless task of keeping us rebellious, envious souls trapped in material consciousness. Next. Maya's covering energy does what to the living entity? Yes, but how?
Wrong concepts.
Close. It's illusion. The covering potency of Maya is she puts us into illusion. And we'll discuss illusion a little bit later in the class as well. Next. Oops. What does the throwing energy of Maya do to the living entity? Blurt it out. Don't be afraid. No?
Make us feel like we are super soul.
The throwing energy of Maya is what?
Make us feel like we are super soul, or we are Krishna, or something like that. Basically, we are not. We are part.
So that's the illusion. We're in illusion when we think we could actually be Krishna. Actually, the throwing potency of Maya is distraction. And there's so many distractions. We've got sports and TV, rock and roll, music, and the big one, Facebook. So indifference means we're in neutrality. So neutrality can pull us either one way or the other. We can be in the service of the Lord, or we can be adverse to that service. So that's why we're called marginal. We're very, very small, like tiny little sparks off of a bonfire. Krishna being the bonfire, we're the little sparks, and we can be easily covered over. So this desire to be in the center is what causes this. The neutral state is very dangerous because the living entity cannot remain in stasis. They must go one way or the other. So what we have done is we have actually lowered our consciousness, and that is the fall. We didn't physically fall. Our consciousness fell. Okay? So for those of us, we've heard that Prabhupada has stated that 1/4 of the spiritual world is in the material Baharanga Shakti, lower energy. So we're still in the spiritual world, but we have lowered our consciousness. It's really fairly easy to understand that we're not this body, especially those of us who've been practicing bhakti for some time. The body is a vehicle that we ride around in, and then at the moment of death, the consciousness, which is a symptom of the soul, then leaves the body. So there's no life force in that form, in that body. But what of the mind? So here's where it gets a bit tricky. Maya does not constitutionally influence the spirit soul. We don't touch matter. Matter doesn't enter into us. So what has happened is that we don't mix with matter, but we identify with it. So Maya does not constitutionally influence the spirit soul. There's nothing material in the soul. So still the jiva becomes entangled because of the way that we identify with a certain material identity. Material consciousness, which according to Kapila, Lord Kapila in the Srimad Bhagavatam, is created from the reflection of the original consciousness of the soul. I'll say that again. The material consciousness is the reflection of the original consciousness of the soul. That reflection is comprised of the mind, intelligence, false ego, the senses, and our physical body. I'm going to give a few analogies to kind of help us understand that position a little bit better. Just like a person who's playing a computer game, they can't enter into the computer game. The jiva does not factually enter into the material cosmic manifestation, although it looks like they're moving in it. They're factually not moving in it. He remains, us, the soul, remains immovable and in our original position, dormant. Okay, so by identifying with this material identity, the soul moves from one body to the next, suffering or enjoying according to whatever their desires are. And so when the person is just as a person who is entertained by the computer game, totally identifying with what's on the screen. Another example of this is like watching a television show or a movie. There was in 1990, how many of you have ever heard of Internal Affairs? This is a movie in 1990. Anyway, it's a movie that I watched, and it was Richard Gere was in it, and he was so good in it, and he played the role of a really bad guy. And they were after him, and I got so invested in this that I was yelling, get him, kill him. And then I sat back and I go, oh my gosh, I was in TV reality, not this reality, right? So another example of our position is there are many scriptural references to the sun and the moon being reflected in the water. In reality, the soul never mixes with matter. Remember that. We identify with matter. The soul remains aloof from matter just like oil and water. The consciousness of the soul is reflected in matter just like the moon or the sun is reflected in the lake. So in the lake, the sun and the moon wavers, right? But in reality, it's not wavering. When the soul comes under the influence of the false ego, which is the most subtle of all the material elements, he thinks he's the body. He thinks he's performing actions. And he thinks he's the proprietor. He identifies with the reflection in the water instead of his real position in the sky. Make sense? Okay, in reality, there's no birth, there's no death, there's no old age, there's no disease, we don't go to hell. But because we identify in this way, we have to suffer all these troubling experiences. The last analogy is one I've given before in a class, and it's the analogy of swapna, the dream state. Prabhupada talks about the conditioned soul as being in a dream state. It belongs to the mind, intelligence, and false ego. It's a mental projection for the person who's dreaming. While we're dreaming, it's hard to understand what's happening. But once we wake up, then everything becomes very clear. So whenever remember when the dream is severed, then it becomes crystal clear what is happening. When the soul is dormant, I wonder if I've done this. Have I missed one of my slides? When the soul is dormant or inactive, oops, hold on. When the soul is dormant or inactive, it is the mind that engages in material activities. Remember, the soul is dormant, inactive. The mind is the reflection of the spirit soul. Now that I've gone through those analogies, does everyone kind of know what our position is? Does it make sense? Okay. Okay, plate 23, next. So you can see the 5 horses represent the senses. The reins are the mind. The driver is the intelligence. And who's in the back? The soul, right? What's happening? He's not doing anything. The soul's not doing anything. He's being taken for a ride. It's like he's been hijacked. And we did it to ourselves. We hijacked ourselves. Okay, so how do we get out of this illusion? Sadhana Kriya. Anyone know what Sadhana Kriya is? Eh? Spiritual practices. But they're pious activities, it can be charity, it can be prescribed duties, but these things don't actually work on the soul. They work on the mind. Sadhana Kriya works on the mind. Okay, so think of the spirit as the mirror. The mirror is all covered over with dust for many, many, many years. And we can't see our face in the mirror, right? But the mirror hasn't lost its capacity to show our face. So Sadhana Kriya is the act of wiping off the dust from the mirror. That's Maya from the soul. That dust covering is Maya, the illusion. Okay? Sorry, my thing is moving around. Okay, it's only by removing these, the dust, the unwanted things, the sinful activities, that the soul's spiritual propensity can awaken. Once all those anarthas, unwanted things, are removed, then love for Krishna automatically will manifest. Next. Now, we know Sadhana Kriya does not act on the soul. What does it act on? Okay. So, the transformable mind. So, Sadhana Kriya cannot mature one to the state of Prem Bhakti. Next. What is the eternal process? As it matures, the soul gradually enters Bhav Bhakti and then Prem Bhakti. How does the awakening start? What's it called? Could be for sure, yes, but what is the actual bhakti called? Yeah, there you go. Who said that? Okay, Sarva Shakti. Sadhana Bhakti, it's the Sadhana Bhakti is the practice of devotional service in the initial stages and under the guidance of a spiritual master. It's following rules and regulations, helps cultivate love for God. Okay, next, what is Bhav Bhakti? Anyone can say? Okay, sorry? Bhav Bhakti? Yes, but how does that manifest? What does it look like? So Bhav Bhakti is an actual change of heart. It's observable from Nitai Sachinandana Ki Jai. It is observable through forbearance, concern for not wasting time, detachment, hope, eagerness to chant the holy names of God, and just loves to hear about the different residences of the Lord. This is the stage where the jiva actually sees the kingdom of God within the heart. Next. What is Prem Bhakti? Anyone want to say? Sorry? It's intense love for Krishna, and all actions, the motivation is the primary motivation is to love, to serve Krishna in love. So it's intense. This is the stage, it's the highest stage of bhakti, and this is the stage where one experiences pratyakshata manat, which is face to face. You can see Krishna face to face, and you're engaging in loving pastimes with him. So sadhana, yes, sadhana becomes bhav bhakti becomes prem bhakti, but are there different bhaktis? It's one bhakti. It's that the jiva's consciousness becomes transformed through the different stages of bhakti. So, in the conditioned state, the soul is forced to act according to the three modes of material nature. There's goodness, which is sattva. There's passion, rajagun, and ignorance, tamagun. So, how many of you seen the picture in the Bhagavad Gita of the marionette? They're being forced to dance or act according to the modes of nature that you're most attracted to, which is dependent on the type of desires that the living entity has. Some characteristics of the mode of goodness are virtuous, forgiving, kind, compassionate, empathetic. They're joyful, positive, they're free from fear. Those in the mode of passion, they have worldly desires. They have attachment for making money, acquiring things, possessions. They want success and recognition. Srila Prabhupada said that these people who are rajasic are busy, 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 like monkeys. And he said, but they can be very dangerous also. So those who are predominantly controlled by the mode of ignorance or tamagun, they're typically inert, inactive, sleepy, lazy. So those in goodness, they know things. They hanker for knowledge and enlightenment. Those in the mode of passion are greedy. And those in tamagun, Srila Prabhupada says they are too much lusty and they are not on the level of a human being. The natural environment for the living entity, I want to make sure I have plenty of time, is Satchidananda, which is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. So it is only through bhakti or performing national devotional service that the living entity's illusion, lamentation, and fearfulness fall away. The desire to lord it over matter causes unlawful desires, fear of losing things, being afflicted with the conception of I and mine. Fruitive workers desire sense enjoyment, jnanis desire liberation, and yogis desire material opulence. They're all lusty, and they cannot find peace or happiness. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta has said that Sabandha Jnana is the knowledge of one's relationship with the Lord, and another name for this is transcendental knowledge or initiation. Initiation, real initiation, is where the disciple's heart is captured by in the spiritual enlightenment or the true meaning of the mantra. It is not just an external process of initiation. So Sanatan Goswami is this Abanda Gyanacharya. In his Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita, he says, in order to take shelter of the Lord's lotus feet, we must take shelter of the Lord's devotee by the way of the parampara system, or the disciplic succession. This knowledge is given from one pure devotee to the next pure devotee, to the next pure devotee, all the way back to Krishna. And any disciple who speaks the same message that the spiritual master has given is also following and keeping parampara intact. So how do we gain knowledge through bhakti yoga? By hearing Krishna Katha with attention from a self-realized soul, and by rendering service towards non-duplicitous devotees. Non-duplicitous, not deceitful, not dishonest, not two-faced. So, next, what would a duplicitous devotee look like? What do they aspire for? Anybody want to answer that? Hmm?
Fame.
Yes. Who said that? Yes. Yes. Fame. Anything else? I'm sorry, can't you hear?
They imagine a world of how they look to other people.
Distinction. Yes. They want fame, distinction. They want to be adored, adoration. And something else. They want to acquire wealth. So that's a duplicitous devotee. So it's okay to be discriminate in this matter. And Prabhupada did not want us to follow blindly. He wanted us to exercise our intelligence in choosing a spiritual master. But once you have found this person, you should follow him or her with implicit faith. The spiritual master is the servitor God, and Krishna is the worshipable God. If one doesn't treat the spiritual master on the same level as Krishna, then he loses the ability to continue chanting the holy names of the Lord. There are some people in certain camps that actually try to lower the position of the spiritual master on the level of an ordinary human being. This is Hatimata Vaishnava Aparad, the mad elephant offense, and it should be avoided at all cost. So, like the river Ganges that descends from the Himalayas through a hole shaped like a cow's mouth, it's called Gomukhi. Transcendental knowledge, similarly, is given by the spiritual master through his mouth to our ears. It is only through hearing with one minute. Oh, yes. News of the spiritual world comes through the mouth of the spiritual master, and we receive that from our ears. So it's like if we've never been to Calcutta, but we want to know about Calcutta, we must hear from someone who's been there. So one should hear submissively and humbly with service-inclined ears, the transcendental message of the Lord to us, given to us by the Acharya. By the Acharya. Okay, it's important to note that the Acharya is not a guru that you can reject what they say because it's not to your liking. Okay? So it is through this process of attentive hearing, pranipata, and also pariprashna, which is honest inquiry. What does that actually mean, honest inquiry? Honest inquiry means we hear from the spiritual master, we ask questions that not with the motivation of a hidden agenda or that we already know the answer to it. Honest inquiry is that we hear submissively and humbly from the spiritual master, not in an arguing mood. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshana. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you, and because he has seen the truth. Next. What is the process of honest inquiry with a desire to learn a transcendental knowledge from an experienced acharya called? Anyone want to take a guess? Okay, I'll tell you. Huh? No. It's actually the descending path through the disciplic succession. So it comes from the spiritual master on down, the descending path. There are those who approach teachers who are highly experienced in material science, and they love to argue. It's like a debate. They become challenging. In fact, the foundation of empirical knowledge is argumentation. These people try to find the absolute truth through their puny little brains, and they try to find the absolute truth by exercising mental speculation. They're covered over, they're guessing all the time. And all knowledge is gained through sensory experience, not by hearing from someone who knows. So, they also cherry pick. Oh, I'll take this part of the philosophy, but I'll reject that part of the philosophy. So that's mental speculation. Next. What is the path of gaining knowledge through experimentation and argumentation called? Anyone? Yes, very good. The ascending path. There's a problem with the ascending path, however. The conditioned soul is subject to 4 defects. Who can name one? What? Yes, imperfect senses. Oh, they make mistakes, sorry. Cheating propensity, yes. Illusion. Okay, so being prone to make mistakes is kind of self-explanatory. None of us are perfect, right? We're limited by imperfect senses. Those who have perfect senses don't see forms as changing. Being an illusion is falsely identifying the self as the body and the mind. And the material world, for one who's in illusion, the material world is an independent reality, and they also see it as the ultimate reality, rather than seeing this material world as like a place of spiritual rehabilitation. The propensity to cheat, Srila Prabhupada talks about this and says that even well-educated and extremely intelligent people are prone to cheat. They misrepresent reality for their own personal gain. It can be manipulation, it can be subtle. It can be manipulation, dishonesty, unethical behavior. I know when I was, some of you know I was a broker, but before that I was an account executive in lending. And there was this woman who the FBI was following her all the way from Tennessee. And she had parked herself in Vancouver, Washington, and I was calling on her. She was a new client of mine, and every single transaction that I picked up from her, we found fraud on. What's interesting is that one of the files, the loan files that I was looking at, she had committed fraud on a pay stub, altered the income to make it higher, but she didn't need to do that because the borrower already qualified with his real pay. So some people are just prone to cheat because it's like ingrained in them. Okay, so no matter how one tries to know the truth, is there God or is there not God, the conditioned soul cannot find the answer through the empirical process, the ascending path. It's like leaping into the dark. It's like building a staircase to heaven, doesn't work. It's like trying to find the sun at nighttime by lighting a lamp. So, as long as human beings depend on their own intelligence, pride, strength, and experience, they won't surrender to the lotus feet of the Lord, which is the only way really to know Him. A lot of people glorify this process of ascending, the ascending path, just as the egocentric, intoxicated Gajendra did when he found himself in his leg in the clutches, in the jaws of a crocodile. It was only when the glories of surrender in the heart to the Lord that actually saved him. So the materialistic sense enjoyers, the impersonalist who wants to become one with God, and the mystics who want to be higher than everyone else, they're all on the ascending path. And this is a statement by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and I just really like this a lot. He says, even a small desire to become great has someone on the ascending path to knowledge, and they will never know the truth. So it is only with our service-inclined senses that we will come to know Krishna. The only way to avoid being covered and thrown by Maya's potency is if we constantly serve and love Krishna. Otherwise, Maya can actually enter in. And that's lowering of the consciousness. In this way, there won't be any gaps. In this age of Kali Yuga, which is the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, there's an easy and highly effective and joyful way to actually be delivered from the pangs of this material cosmic manifestation. And it's by chanting the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By chanting the holy names of Krishna, the potency of these names spreads throughout the body, dances on the devotee's tongue and in the mind. How is this mantra able to do this? In the material world, the sound of the object is not the sound and the object of the sound are not one and the same. If I speak tamarind tree, it gives you an indication of the tree, but not the tamarind tree. If I say water, 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 my thirst isn't quenched. But in the spiritual world, the sound vibration is non-different from the object named. We know that a sound in material world can encourage us to commit all kinds of sinful activities. It behooves us in the human form of life to inquire about the self. That's called Brahma Jignasa, and only in the human form can this be done. If one does not inquire about the self, what is the purpose of life? Why am I here? Why must I die? Why must I suffer? Then they're on the platform of an animal, and no higher realizations will occur for them. Maya is always capturing us by different forms of bait on her hook. So she's always dangling some kind of sense gratification for us. Those who are tempted by the lures of taste, touch, sight, sound, smell, were doomed for the samsara, which is the repeated birth and death cycle. And it can happen for time immemorial, which is what has happened for us. Lord Chaitanya has said, Krishna bole se jiva anadi bahirmukha ateva maya taredeya samsara dukkha. Forgetting Krishna, the living entity has been attracted by the external feature from time immemorial. Bahirmukha means turned away. Buli means forgetting. And anadi means from time immemorial. So we've turned away from the relationship that we have with Krishna, which causes us to forget him. And this has been going on for time immemorial. Srila Prabhupada said what time immemorial refers to is that we cannot trace back to when we actually had our falling consciousness. Gaurasundar has arranged for Hari Katha, accompanied by musical instruments, which is kirtan. And normally dancing and singing and playing musical instruments can cause one to enjoy material life. But kirtan is a way for us to cleanse the conditioned heart. Once we have the anarthas and unwanted sinful activities removed, we then can, like I said, love for Krishna will automatically manifest. So what should our self-interest be? To awaken to our real life of eternity, knowledge and bliss as loving servants to our dearmost friend and well-wisher, Lord Shri Krishna. So I request that all of us be a little selfish enough so that we can look after our own self-interest. It gets so easy to be caught up in worldly activities. When we're young kids, we want to listen to music and play sports. When we're young adults, we're busy with family life. And as elderly people, and I can attest to this, we put a lot of emphasis on taking care of our bodies and our properties. So there will always be a reason for us not to put our self-interest first. For those who are here and new to this process, and I don't think anybody is, I challenge all of you to make an experiment of chanting the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and see if life becomes sublime. The mellows of devotional service are described as liquid. Okay, Mahesh, you should know. Why is that so? We talked about this. Mellows of devotional life or service is described as liquid. Nice try. It can't be compared to the dry, mundane pleasures of this world. It's like, devotional service is like an oasis in the desert. It's liquid. It's unlimited. So, Srila Prabhupada gave a description. Oops, I want to get this. I want to leave time for Q&A. Srila Prabhupada gave a description of what it will be like to awaken in Goloka Vrindavan. He said it will be like a person who has spent a very long prison sentence. They step out into freedom in a state of pure joy. So I'll end here with something that Gaur Sundar said. I am not a Brahmin, I am not a Kshatriya, I am not a Vaishya or a Sudra, nor am I a Brahmachari, a householder of Varnaprastha, or a sannyasi. I identify myself only as the servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, the maintainer of the gopis. He is like an ocean of nectar, and he is the cause of universal transcendental bliss. He is always existing with brilliance. All glories to my beloved spiritual master, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. All glories to my grandfather, Guru, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. All glories to Shri Radha and Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to anyone here that is new to this amazing philosophy. All glories to the assembled devotees. I hope this class has been a source of enlightenment for you. Hare Krishna. So at this time, I will try to answer any questions you might have. Yes, Krishna Bhamini.
First of all, thank you so much. It was such a beautiful class.
Oh, thank you.
Really beautiful.
Okay.
When you were discussing about one of the first verses that's so important is when Krishna tells Arjuna one must inquire submissively. Mm-hmm. So that's so important. So one of the first times I met Srila Prabhupada, well, I'll give two examples. One, I was taking the course on Bhagavad Gita in my last year of college. And when we finished Bhagavad Gita, it was so wonderful. No book that we had read in university could compare. So we went up to the teacher and we said, now that we've finished reading this, we don't want to put this book on the shelf like you do when you finish a book. How can we imbibe this in our life? And his response was, do you really want to know?
Is that Trivikram?
You know, because yeah, we're asking a question. Do you really want to know? And we said yes. And then he told us the 4 regulative principles. And then Srila Prabhupada came to our university, 1969, and he was speaking in the evening to the students. And one student, very, very puffed up, said, "Swamiji, are you happy?" And Prabhupada paused, and he said, "Will you accept my answer if I tell you?" And immediately the boy deflated, and he said, "Yes, I'll accept your answer." So that was just a perfect example of, you know, if we inquire, are we inquiring submissively?
Right.
And then Prabhupada shook his head and he said, "Yes, I am happy."
Jai. Anybody else have a question?
Thank you so much, Mataji, for the very nice class. If you can go back a few slides to that, where the intelligence is the driver, the soul is the reins. I have a question.
Well, the mind is the reins.
Mind is the reins, yes, thank you. So the senses are there, the mind, so the senses are the horses.
Correct.
Which run in all directions. The mind is the reins, and the intelligence is the driver, and the soul is the passenger.
Correct.
But in our scriptural studies, there is so much emphasis being made on purifying the mind when the intelligence is the driver. Why is that so?
Oh, you would have to ask me something like that. Prabhupada always wanted us to use our intelligence, and it's through exercising our intelligence that we can purify the mind. Because right now, we're operating with minds that are conditioned, dusty. If you think of that mirror as being the soul, how to see who we really are, how to actually function on that reality. So the intelligence, it facilitates the mind. That's my understanding. Is Jeff?
So by that, do you mean study things like the Bhagavad Gita and the Sriprada Bhagavatam intelligently?
Yes, you can do that, but also, I mean, Krishna sits in our hearts as Paramatma, so that is the most intelligent, that's the area where we can gain the most intelligence, is from Krishna. So if we're sincere and we pray, then we'll be guided in the right way, mindfully. Yeah, so anybody else have a question? We got like 5 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and have kirtan. Anybody else? Okay. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for a nice lecture. I don't have a question, but just a couple of reflections. The title of this lecture says reality.
Yes, reality.
Yeah. And I felt like it's whole Krishna consciousness in one session through series of 12 questions, if I'm correct.
12, was it? I didn't count, sorry.
And you started with a question on what is the original sin, and then covering through various process of or what is happening to the living entity, and you touched on the aspect of Maya and the 3 stages of bhakti, right? Like sadhana, bhava, and prema.
Right.
And you mentioned about the process as well as the path of gaining knowledge.
Yes.
And I have one, if I need to ask a question, I have one thing on, just a second. So So what is happening to the living entity? If you can, Mataji can go to the second slide or the second question. The next one. Yeah, in an understanding of what is happening to the living entity, or what is another word for indifference in the spiritual context. If you can double click or expand on this one.
So, the spirit soul cannot remain in stasis. So if they're in neutrality, they're not in deep loving service to Krishna, they're just in stasis, it won't last. The nature of the living entity is to either be in loving service to God or adverse to rendering that service. So indifference is where it starts to happen. It's not that there's a overt envy of God at that stage, but that's where it ends up being. So if we're marginal by nature because we're so small. So if we choose to go the way of, in the indifferent stage, if we choose to go the way of being adverse to that service, we find ourselves in this dream state, if you want. I think of it kind of like the Matrix, is where we lowered our consciousness. We didn't actually go anywhere. We lowered our consciousness so that now we're having this wild ride. It's like in the picture of the horses with the soul being taken for a ride. We're not in control anymore because we've lost our ability, our natural desire to love and serve Krishna. So from indifference, envy then takes place. And that's why we're here. We wanted to be many, as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says, we wanted to be many Krishnas.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. Any other questions? We have like 1 minute. No? Okay. Hare Krishna. Oh, yes, Vedavati.
I just want to say thank you for the class. One of my favorite pictures has always been the one of the demigods playing with us, like marionettes.
Yes, it was on there. I don't know if you were here for that. Yeah, we're being controlled according to the combinations of the three modes of material nature. Yeah, so, okay, Hare Krishna, Haribol.
So let's show some appreciation for Mataji. She spent, from what I know, a lot of time contemplating this topic. It might have been just a short 1-hour lecture, but it was a lifetime of preparation, right? So, Haribol. Oh, thank you. More to come, right? Hare Krishna. If devotees can gather, maybe help Mataji with this items here, and we'll have Arti Kirtan. Get your mic.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaur दूरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादिशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा जय श्री जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Nitai Sachinandana Nitai Sachinandana Nitai Sachinandana Gaura Hari Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jai Prabhupada प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद। निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। श्रील प्रभुपाद की निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की। नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट जय ओम विष्णुपाद श्री गौर किशोर दास बाबाजी महाराज की। नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट जय ओम विष्णुपाद सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर महाराज की। नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट जय ओम विष्णुपाद वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ षट गोस्वामी प्रभु वर्ग की। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की। ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की। गंगा माई जमुना माई की। तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की। कलियुग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक एवं प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की। श्री श्री निताय सजनंदन देव भगवान की। श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज हरे कृष्ण। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्री श्री गुरु एंड गौरंगा। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Who's going to chant? Oh, you can decide amongst yourselves. Anirudh, I need to talk to you about something. Okay? I should take that. Okay.
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय प्रहलाददायिने प्रहलाददायिने हिरण्यकशिपुर्वक्षः हिरण्यकशिपुर्वक्षः शिरला टंका न खालाए शिरला टंका न खालाए इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहो यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहो बाहिर नरसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो बाहिर नरसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव कर कमलवरे नखम् अद्भुत शृङ्गाम् दलिता हिरण्यकशिपुर्तनुभृङ्गाम् केशवधेता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कर कमलवरे नखा अद्भुत शृङ्गाम् दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश तव कर कमलवरे नखम् अद्भुत शृङ्गाम् दलिता हिरण्यकशिपुर्तनुभृङ्गाम् केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कर कमलवरे नखा अद्भुत शृङ्गाम् दलिता हिरण्यकशिपुर्तनुभृङ्गाम् केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे Narsimhadev, 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 Jaya Narsimhadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. जय ओम नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, ताई सचिनंदन देव भगवान की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, ताई गौर प्रेमानंदे।
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Shinitai Sachin Dev ki jai, Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Bhagwan ki jai, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shrimati Vrinda Devi Guru Parampara ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi. How's everyone doing? Thank you all for joining us for our Sunday Feast program. Just a couple of announcements. We had a nice lecture by Sriprada Mataji and Kirtan by the devotees and the darshan of our beautiful deities. So some couple of brief announcements. Anyone here for the very first time? You're being pointed to, I think. Can you kindly tell us your name, where you're from, and what brought you to the temple today? Hold on, just one second. Hare Krishna. Mataji's, there's a chance to chat a little bit afterwards, okay? So he's introducing himself. Go ahead. Okay.
I'm basically from Gujarat, from India.
You're from where? Gujarat, okay.
So my one of my friends introduced me to ISKCON, so that's why I'm here.
In Gujarat?
No, so when I was in Denver, so that's where
Denver, okay. Radha Govinda. Nice, beautiful deities. So you live in this area now?
Yeah, I live in this.
Wonderful. Are you friends? Okay. Well, let's welcome Prabhu with a loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Thank you. Nice to see you. Please come again. Okay. If you can, there's a magenta folder here, like a 3-ring binder. If you can put your name, email ID, it's not shared with anybody, you'll get messages about temple events, WhatsApp messages, okay? There's another devotee who's here for the first time. Next to Jeff Prabhu. Are you here for the first time, Prabhu? आप पहले आए हुए यहाँ पर? He's been here before, right? Okay. So, so for all the devotees having birthdays and anniversaries, Hari Bol! May Shri Nitai Sachin Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Dev bless you. So as soon as I turn away from that side, the Mahatajis are talking. So, next. So, I think most of you know Ram Vanmali Prabhu. It was his birthday this week, and unfortunately it was on a weekday, so we couldn't celebrate. But there he is, cutting a couple of beautiful cakes. That's nice. That's nice. He's serving Shri Chinitai Satchananda Lakshmi Narasimhadev Srila Prabhupada on a daily basis. I know since she's come here, very hard worker, continuous seva, very enthusiastic. He really likes the children, tries to teach a mardanga, etc. He loves all of you and wants to get to know you and serve you. So really exemplary, nice devotee. He's a disciple of His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj Swami. So congratulations on your birthday. We hope and pray to Shri Srinitai Satyanandan you can continue to dedicate your life for their seva as you've been doing so well. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpa trabhyascha kripo sindhabhyocha titanam pavnebhe vaishnavyo namo namah. Excuse me? Oh, I thought you got 2 cakes. So, Nitai Jagdish Prabhu's good father is Prabhu here? Ah, Hare Krishna. It was your birthday also on the same day? Really? Nice. Happy birthday, Prabhu. Thank you. And is Nitai Jagdish Prabhu here? Maybe later. But congratulations on your birthday as well. So, Prabhuji is the father of Nitai Jagdish Prabhu, who we all know. So it was his birthday as well. Who made the cake? Nitai Jagdish Prabhu, or you guys made the cake? Oh, Vidhi Mataji. Okay, wonderful. Okay, next. Okay, so this coming week, we have some home programs, continuing the theme of home programs. So we have a program with His Grace Govinda Prabhu, who is a well-known kirtan leader. He has dedicated himself to chanting the holy name in Vrindavan since 1997. Prior to that in New York City, continuous Harinam in New York City for many years. He's of Hungarian descent, and he's a disciple of His Holiness Ramapada Swami Maharaj, and received personal training from His Grace Indra Prabhu. So he now is in Shridham Mayapur and leading kirtan there. So he's kindly coming here starting next. I don't know. Do any of you guys work outside the home? When we're at work and somebody's talking, we don't try to have a second conversation, right? It's not polite. Please. We just ask a little bit of your attention. So he's coming, and he's here for home program starting on June 3rd, which is Wednesday, to June 8th, which is Monday. So you can see the list of programs. Everybody's invited. You can come. It'll be a beautiful evening of listening to kirtan, sitting comfortably at somebody's home, some devotee's home, and honoring prasadam. So the first 2 are in Bethany. How many of you live in Bethany? Oh, I know way more than that live in Bethany. Some reason there's embarrassment in admitting Bethany. So first 2 are right next door to you guys. And then the next one is Beaverton with Swapna Mataji and Suman Prabhu. And then Radhakund Mataji in Corvallis. It's a Saturday, and I guarantee you it will be a wonderful outing for you and your family. And then Sunday is at the temple, and then Monday is at VG Mataji's. So you can see the name. There's a tiny URL link. You can RSVP, okay? Next. So upcoming devotees, we're kind of winnowing down the list, so to speak. So we already had several devotees come through. So Govinda Prabhu, June 3rd to June 8th. Then His Grace Gaura Sundar Prabhu from June 18th to June 22nd. And then His Holiness Ramapada Swami Maharaj, June 23rd to 29th. And then His Grace Kanai Thakur Prabhu from July 4th to July 5th, and then His Grace Harivamsh Prabhu from July 6th to July 12th, okay? So we'll keep announcing these. Thank you. Next. So our next kind of big festival is the Deity Welcoming Festival, which we usually observe the second weekend of the month. So that'll be on June 14th, forgive me, where Sri Srinitai Satyanandan are dressed in all flower outfit, flower garlands, flower earrings, flower bangles, flower jewelry, and they'll be bathed with 216 rose bouquets worth of rose petals by the pujaris, and then that's called Pushya Abhishek, flower Abhishek, and then everybody will receive that as prasadam. So we're getting pretty close to our mark. The goal was to have 216, of course, you can do the math, 108 for each Sri Nitai and Sri Satyanandan, Sri Nitai Satyanandan. So we're short by about 14. If you all can, somebody can be the brave souls to sponsor some more. It'd be nice to have the 216. If you haven't sponsored, please consider doing so. I'm not trying to push, but it's nice. It's nice. For our families, our children, our parents, our spouses, we do so much. So why not for the Lord? And then also want to thank those that sponsored Bhoga, Vijay Mataji, and Radhavan Prabhu, and Akshari. And then there are others, Jagan Kanaka Prabhu and Dharini Mataji, Rohit Prabhu, Padmavati Mataji, Adya, and then Anupam Prabhu and Karobi Mataji also. So we have a very nice group of Bhoga sponsors. We don't have the deities, the 216 flower bouquets are simply for doing Pushya Abhishek. The outfit is not made out of that. And that we estimate, based on last year's cost, will cost that the decorations for the altar and the flower outfit will cost $3,000 because it's just, that's the way it is. Gas is expensive and so is this. So we have Rahul Prabhu and Deepika Mataji and Ram sponsoring 300. If you have a desire and ability, sponsor something, even if you just do $100, $200, whatever you can. But we need actual full 2,700 if you can. Thank you. And then deity dress, etc. Okay, so there's opportunities to sponsor for the deities, for their welcoming. Imagine the temple without Sri Srinitai Satyanandan and Sri Lakshmi Nrsimha there. What would that be like? We'd have devotees, we hear Krishna Katha, but one of the most powerful aspects of the 5 aspects of deity seva or sadhana bhakti is what? Shrimurti seva, right? The seva of Murti. Putana, the demoness that was sent by Kams to Gokul, she came in contact with Sri Bhagavan, Bal, Krishna. What sadhana bhakti was she doing? What was she doing? Japa? Was she doing Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam? She wanted to poison Bhagavan. Bhagavan took that little effort on her part where she picked him up, put him on her lap, and breastfed him. What is this? This is Shri Murti Seva. Bhagavan took that and amplified it so much. He drank her breast milk, so from him, who the pran comes from, took back the pran within himself. And he gave her a position as a nurse in the eternal spiritual world. Acharyas say this is an example of Shri Murti Seva. That's how important that is. In Bhakti Rasamrita and Sindhu it says, Swa-alpa sambandha bhavajanam. That just a little connection with Bhagavan will generate bhav, which is our goal. So please consider doing, he's doing, him and Sudam Pran Prabhu and other devotees, thank you, are doing Shri Murti Seva. we can just do a little bit, which is we can donate. That's also seva. If you want tiny URL, you can sign up. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Next. I want to thank Shankar Gupta today. I think I saw Shankar Prabhu here. Hare Krishna, Shankar Prabhu. Aarti Mataji? Hare Krishna. Ah, Sonia, your birthday. Is it today? It was on Friday? Congratulations. You came all the way from Arizona to be with your folks? That's nice. I've known Sonia and Sushain since, I don't know, they were little kids just like Arpana. And they've grown up to, be such responsible, wonderful adults and devotees too, right? So congratulations, Sonia. Congratulations, Aarti Mataji and Prabhu. Thank you for observing her birthday. And Raj Lakshmi Mataji for her grandson, Rishabh's birthday. Is Mataji here? Oh, congratulations. Rishabh Prabhu is in India?
No, he's here. He lives here.
Ah, okay.
It's next week. That's right.
Okay, very nice. Thank you. Mataji, you're from Chennai, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So Mataji and Prabhu are here from Chennai, and you're staying with family. Wonderful.
Yeah, my son lives there.
We don't want her to go back to Chennai. Stay with us. And then Prakunya and Suhas are sponsored Flowers Day for Badrinath Prabhu's birthday. Badrinath Prabhu? Badri Prabhu? He's in the kitchen. I'm somehow guessing that he's frying something there. He loves that. And Suhas is getting his first paycheck. Where's Suhas? Huh? Where's his check? Nitai Sachinandan waiting for the first check. No, the etiquette is something from one's first earning must be given to Bhagwan. You know that. So, but happy birthday to Suhas. Okay, and next. Okay, so I think Damodar Krishna Prabhu is going to speak about a very important event. This is called Bhadra Purnima, and he'll speak about it. So kindly provide your attention. And then afterwards, after this, Sriprada Mataji will speak, and then we'll have Prasadam prayers.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Om Jnanat Mirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So I just want to pay respectful obeisances to all of you. This month is a very auspicious month. It is called Purushottam month, the best of the months. It comes once in 4 years. So after 4 years, this is the 4th year, this month come, next year would be 2026, right? So next year would be 2030. And we won't know where we would gonna be. So this is a very auspicious month to do auspicious things. And one of them is getting Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay? So all over the world, Srimad Bhagavatam is being read and sung at present. And this year the goal is 100,008 Srimad Bhagavatam distribution till Bhadra Purnima. Okay? So for our temple, the goal is 27 Srimad Bhagavatam. So Amreen Prabhu is going to speak a little bit, like it's 1 minute video, please pay your attention to it. And then we want to gift this Bhagavatam to a very special devotee who got this Hindi Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhaskar Prabhu. So please be ready. So we'll start this video.
But the son of Srimad Bhagavatam has just give light to one another. And Srila Prabhupada said, look how Srimad Bhagavatam is selling himself. Prabhupada said, I myself gained so much inspiration by studying Srimad Bhagavatam. So you should continue like this and know for sure this will be the most. In fact, Ramakrishna Goswami Maharaj explains, whenever Prabhupada would arrive in any center, any temple, the first question at the airport used to be, how's the book distribution? Amidst all the projects that Prabhupada was into, Prabhupada said, distributing books pleases me like no other service. If you really want to please me, distribute books. So we please Srila Prabhupada and following the footsteps of Narottam, Shyamananda and Srinivas, the first ever book distribution campaign, the first ever Save Earth campaign in our parampara, we are following their footsteps. Because Srinivas Acharya, after he learnt and studied the Srimad Bhagavatam from Jiva Goswami, he personally, with Narottam Das Thakur, Nanda Prabhu, went on book distribution.
So devotees, you heard about Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam consists of 18 books, okay? So this is one set of Srimad Bhagavatam and it comes in different languages. So this is a special Hindi language. So just giving an example, this is Hindi language Srimad Bhagavatam. It comes in English as well. The reason I'm giving it here today is because, Hindi Srimad Bhagavatam takes a little longer time to come. So this devotee who was very eager to read Srimad Bhagavatam in Hindi, they have been waiting for Srimad Bhagavatam since 3 weeks now. We already got English Srimad Bhagavatam last week and we distributed it to different devotees. But this week we want to give to Bhaskar Prabhu. He's coming from all the way from Salem. And yes Prabhuji. He's coming all the way from Salem and you can see his kids. And then their main motivation is to inspire their kids. And the best way to inspire kids is by doing yourself, right? So when you read Srimad Bhagavatam, your kids would automatically would see you are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, why don't I read Srimad Bhagavatam as well? And then, Srimad Bhagavatam can make a child or anyone a Mahatma, a Mahanatma. So this is an auspicious opportunity. I'm not trying to take anything from you. I'm trying to give you something, and this is rare opportunity. Once in 4 years it's been here, like Purushottaman. So please consider taking a set of Srimad Bhagavatam if you don't have. I'll be outside after this event. I'll be over there. So if you don't have, it's $250. It's not much. It's the cost of these books. So we are not even charging like too much. So please consider taking a set of Srimad Bhagavatam, and you should not think that, oh, how would I read all of that together? It is said, even if one can remember one word of Srimad Bhagavatam at the end moment of their life is perfect. Their life will be it's the success of the life. Ant kale cha mameva, Krishna says this to Arjuna. Ant kale cha mameva, ant kal me, like at the end moment of your life, smaran muktva kalevaram. If you can just think about me, you will be liberated from this material world. And liberation is not even the goal of the Srimad Bhagavatam, is to get the love for Sri Krishna. You see, Arjuna and Lord Krishna, they are talking on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and then there were many other people who were also listening to Bhagavad Gita, right? But the essence is that we develop love for Krishna, and this Srimad Bhagavatam is basically trying to give love of Krishna. So please consider taking this set. It is a golden opportunity. We are in a golden yuga. We are not in a Kali Yuga anymore. We are going to be soon in a golden yuga when all the people of the world would be chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is the prophecy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, Prithvi te ache yata nagaradi gram, sarvatra prachar haibe moranam. And we are seeing that in front of our eyes coming true, right? If we go any place now, we would find a ISKCON, and ISKCON is doing that now. All the places, and there are many other devotees, I'm for sure, in Vrindavan Dham. They are sitting there in Vrindavan Dham and preaching Srimad Bhagavatam all over the world. But you can see in every town and village, the Srimad Bhagavatam is being sung. The holy name of the Lord is being sung. So we are in a very golden opportunity. So please consider taking a set of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, you want to say something?
How many of you do you know about Ramayana? Anyone know about Ramayana? A little bit more hands. Come on, all of you, 99% are born in India. How many of you have heard of Ramayana? If you haven't, then birth in India has failed. How many of you have heard about Ramayana? What do you think about it? What comes into your mind when you hear Ramayana? Huh? Shri Ram. What else do you think about? Dharma. What else do you think about? Maryada Purushottam. What else do you think about? Hanuman. What else do you think about? Sita, Lakshman. Bhagwan doesn't just come by himself, he comes with an entourage. So this book contains not just Ramayana, but all the most important Leelas, Kathas of Bhagwan. Narsinghadev, we just finished Narsinghadev pastime. Prahlad Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, Pandavas. This book holds the love of God. It shows you how all these devotees loved Bhagwan, Shri Krishna, Shri Ram, Shri Vishnu. And not only it's showing you, but it gives you that love for God, just like Ramayana does. This goes over a much longer chronological history of the entire universe. For those of you that have children, like little children, like in elementary school or high school, they just read a page of this a day. A page of this a day. It'll make a huge difference in their life. No more samsara. As a parent, this is the best thing you can do for your child. You can give them clothes, but clothes will get torn and holes and you have to toss it. You can get them a nice college education, but 30 years later, they won't even remember it, although you paid $1 gazillion for it. But Bhagavatam, they can take, they can read. When they leave their life, they can give to their kids. Their kids can give to their kids. This is tradition in Bharat Bhumi, right? Many people have the Ramayana that their grandparents read. I have that. All of you probably have that. So this is, temple makes $0 on this. This is not about that. But this is a chance to learn who's God, who am I, what's my relationship with God, and how can I live a life consistent with that. So this is very important. We're not trying to make a pitch. We're trying to give you a gift that's very rare. So please, there's one very fortunate person, Bhaskar Prabhu, who's going to take the Hindi set, but we have them in different languages and can get them. So please take this seriously. Srila Prabhupada made all endeavor, day and night, sleeping 1 hour a day to do this. Now he's a pure devotee. Why is he doing it? Because he knows the value of it. Srila Prabhupada, people said, you came across the ocean. He said, no, Bhagavatam came. I just was the passenger. So that's how important it was. So please take it up. Damodar Krishna Prabhu will be waiting outside. No force. This has to be voluntary. But I can guarantee you this, that if not you, one of your children, if not one of your children, one of your grandchildren will benefit from this. Okay? Hare Krishna.
That's it. So yeah, we want to request Bhaskar Prabhu to come and take the set from Vanamali Prabhu. You can keep them.
Let's hear for Bhaskar Prabhu coming all the way from Spain.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. I can take it. Come. I can take him, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hari Bol. Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Yug Dharma Harinam Sankirtan ki. I go Premanande. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Maybe somebody can help Bhaskar Prabhu. Oh. Yeah. Okay, we'll have Sriprada Mataji speaking about some pastime of Srila Prabhupada. Then we'll have Prasadam prayers, and then everybody can go up the stairs and honor Prasadam, okay? Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Happy birthday, Ram Vanamali. May you never take birth again. This is from the memories of Shruta Kirti, who was Prabhupada's probably favorite servant. It's serendipitous and it's miraculous. It's a little long, so I'll read fast. We were on an airplane from Mexico City to Caracas. Prabhupada started taking his puffed rice and peanuts. He ate for about 10 minutes or so, and then he just looked and said, okay. So I moved the puffed rice over and I gave half to Paramahamsa. The other half I had in front of me. After a few minutes, there was this stewardess. She was walking down the aisle and she stops right in front of us, and she reached over, put her hand in my plate and grabbed a handful of puffed rice and threw it in her mouth. She says, oh, this is wonderful. What is it? I said, puffed rice. She said, why are you eating this? I said, we have our own diet and we're vegetarian. She said, oh, is there anything else I can get you? I looked at Prabhupada and he looked at me and he said, hot milk. She said, fine. So after about 10 minutes, she comes back with 3 plates. She left and I turned to Prabhupada and I said, Prabhupada, that's amazing, isn't it? Prabhupada said, no, women, they have a natural propensity to serve. Of course, I was thinking it was amazing that she took Prabhupada's Mahaprasadam right off of my plate. Somehow or other, she got what all of us were mad after was Prabhupada's remnants. So when I travel, it's always one of my favorite stories. One day I was giving class and told this story, and after class, a devotee boy came up to me and said, that's an amazing story. Can I tell you a Sankirtan story? I said, yes. He said, we would go out to the villages far from all the cities in Brazil and different places. You have to go by 4-wheel drive. One day we were in the rainforest, really far away from everywhere, and we found this village and we did our Harinam. Then we began going door to door to distribute books. Then I went to this one house and I knocked on the door and a woman answered and tried to distribute books. As soon as she saw me, I was in Dhoti and Kurta, and she invited me in. I went in and I started seeing that there were pictures of Krishna on the wall, and she had an altar, she had deities, and he was so surprised. Then he said, you're a devotee? And she said, yes, yes, it's so wonderful to see a devotee here. And he said, how did you become a devotee? She said, well, the first time I met devotees was I met Prabhupada on an airplane. I was a stewardess. So this was the woman. It was 10 years later from that time after she took Mahaprasadam. Then she met devotees again and got a book, and that was it. That was the beginning of her spiritual life. Just seeing what Prabhupada has done, it's mind-boggling to understand how Prabhupada has made devotees, and it just goes on and on. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you. So how appropriate. We'll have prasadam prayers.
Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmane Vaishnave Swalpa Punyavatam Rajam Vishwasone Vajayate Sarira Vidyajal Jodendriya Taekal Jive Phele Vishaya Sagare Vishaya Sagare Tara Madhye Jivayati Lobo Maya Sudharmati Take Jeta Kathin Sansare Krishna Paradayamay Kari Vade Jivajay Swaprasadana Dilo Bhai Dilo Bhai Sayanamrita Pao Radha Krishna Guna Gao Preme Dako Sri Chaitanya Nitai Dako Sri Chaitanya Nitai Jai Nimai Jai Nitai Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare श्री श्री निताय सचिनंदन भगवत महाप्रसादम की जय। लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव महाप्रसादम की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की।
Please go up the stairs.